guys, Mrs. Traver here. Today we're going to continue talking about exponential properties with zero and negative exponents. So our learning target today is to be able to simplify expressions with exponents, specifically those with zeros and negatives. And you know you'll be successful when you can use all the rules together. Let's jump in. So first, before we jump in too far, I want to review what we've had so far. So take a moment and try these 6 on some scrap paper, and I want to give you some time to show all your work, and we'll come back and check answers. Go for it now. All right, let's see how these went on this first one. This is a multiplication property, so you add your exponents. So I've got x to the 7 plus 4, or x to the 11th. The next one is a power property. On a power property, you distribute and multiply. So I've got x to the 3 times 3, or x to the 9th. The next one is a quotient property, or property of division, where I would subtract top minus bottom. Top minus bottom, so I would have m to the 14 minus 2, or m to the 12th. This one is another power property. I'm going to distribute it to each term. So I've got x to the 2 times 4 and y to the 2 times 4, or just x to the 8th, y to the 8th. This next one, there's some canceling to do. On the x's, I've got 2 minus 5. That means there's 3 extras in the bottom. So I'm going to leave x to the 3rd in the bottom. For the y's, there's 11 minus 3 gives us 8 on top, so y to the 8th on top is what's extra. On this last one, there's some canceling to do. The 2 and the 8, 2 goes into each of them. 2 goes into 2 once, and it goes into 8 4 times. And 12 minus 2 is 10, so there's 10 extra x's on top. So x to the 10th on top and a 4 on bottom. Hopefully this review has looked good. Let's move forward to new material. So to talk about negative exponents, first I want to talk about the division property again. On the division property, we said we subtract top minus bottom. And in a case like this, I'm going to end up getting a negative number. Really what I mean by that, if I were to write it the long way, xx over xxxx, the canceling would show me that there's x squared left on the bottom. So really this is the property. If you have a negative exponent, you can put that exponent on the bottom and make it positive, and put a 1 over it. So again, this is the property. If I have something to the negative exponent, I can put it on the bottom and make it a positive. Let's try another one. If I had 4 minus 5, that's negative 1. So 4 minus 5 is negative 1, which I can write as 1 over x. The last one I'll do is 7 minus 10, which is negative 3. So I can write it on the bottom. The other way to think of this is the difference of them, the extras, so to speak, go on the side that they were on. So on the middle one, there were extras. There was 1 extra on the bottom, so we put it on the bottom. On this one, there was 3 extra, and we put it on the bottom because there were more on the bottom. Here's some more where it starts with a negative. So in this case, k to the negative 5th means I have 1 over k to the 5th. This one, the inside of the parentheses can get simplified. I'm going to rewrite this as 1 over x squared, putting the negative exponent on the bottom. And then let's deal with the 3. Let's distribute it to have 3 over 3, 1 to the, whoa, that got weird, sorry. 1 to the 3rd, not, oh, sorry. Pen is getting weird. There we go. 1 to the 3rd over x to the 2 times 3, or 1 over x to the 6th. Another way you could have done this problem, another mindset, is to first multiply and then put it on bottom. You get the same answer. The next one, we know that we multiply these numbers, negative 2 and 5, which gives me negative 10, which I can put on bottom. All right, let's look at the zero property of exponents. So in this situation, it's kind of like if I would have subtracted and got 0. So in a situation like this, if I would have had m to the 2nd over m to the 2nd, I would have done m to the 2 minus 2 and got m to the 0, which I also know if I wrote it the long way, both of these cancel and it's just 1. So what we've learned is m to the 0 is 1. Matter of fact, anything to the 0 is equal to 1. This is the 0 property of exponents. So I don't care what is in this parentheses, it's to the 0 power, so it's 1. On this one, the bottom, k to the 0, the bottom is 1, and the top is k, so this is just k. Or you could think of this as 1 minus 0, which is just k to the 1 or k. I want you to try some on your own, so go ahead and pause your screen now and get to it. All right, let's see how we did. I'm going to multiply the numbers first. 3 times 2 is 6. And I'm going to multiply the exponents here. I've got a -3 and a 1 to give me -3. I don't want to write my answer with a negative exponent, so I'm going to rewrite, and I'm just going to put my v to the -3 on bottom and make it a +3. My next one, I got a 2, and x to the 3rd times -3. 3 times -3 is -9. Can't write my answer with a negative exponent, so I'm going to put that 9, x to the 9th on bottom. My next one, I've got 3, and then p to the -3rd times -1, which is 3p to the 3rd. So I could just put this as my final answer. On my next one, I'm going to distribute the -1 in here, so I've got r to the -3rd, or 1 over r to the 3rd. This next one is to the 0 power, so I can just say it's 1 and be done. And then here with the power property, I'm going to distribute the 2 onto each term. 3 squared first, and x to the -2 times 2. 3 squared is 9. Let me trade that out for a 9. And x to the -4th, which I can rewrite and put it on bottom, 9 over x to the 4th. Here's some more practice. One more time, pause, try them out, and I'll come back. All right, let's see how we did. Sorry about the bell. 3 over 2 is not going to cancel, but the m's we can do some things with. So I'm going to leave the 3 and the 2 here, and I've got 3 minus -1. So that double negative becomes a plus, and I've really got 3m to the 4th over 2. The other way you can think about this problem is if you have a negative exponent, it always gets moved to the other side. So I could put it on top, and I would have had 3m cubed m to the 1st over 2, which is also 3m to the 4th over 2. So 2 ways to think about it. Let's do the moving way, since that's kind of new to us. I see this -1 on the bottom, and I want to move it to top. So I've got x squared x over 3. X squared x is x cubed over 3. Again here, I've got a negative exponent that goes to go to the other side. So I've got k squared over 3. K squared is k to the 3rd over 3. A negative exponent that gets moved to the other side. There's nothing left on the top, so I'm going to put a 1. On the bottom, I have 3x x to the 3rd, or 3x to the 4th on bottom. On the bottom here, I notice I have a 0 exponent. That is now a 1, so really it's just going to go away. And my negative exponent will move to the bottom. So I've got 2 left over on top, and a 3n cubed on bottom. My last one here, my b squared is negative, so it gets moved to the bottom. On the top, I'm left with 3, and on the bottom, I've got b squared, or b cubed. That is all I've got for today. I hope that negative exponents as well as 0 exponents have treated you well. I will see you next time. Bye, guys.